And we're live again, Judge.
Okay, this is Judge Alyssa Perez resuming the criminal docket for the 210th District Court again for March 15th. Mr. Pantoja, would you call our next case, please?
Yes, Judge. This is Coley on page 8.
Go ahead.
It's cause number 2018-0D03237. State of Texas versus Noel Coley. Announcement, counsel, please.
King for the state of Texas.
Library Bauman, Mr. Coley, ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Coley. Your attorney is here. We are scheduled for a probation status, if I'm not mistaken, probation status hearing. Ms. Pineda, I'm looking, it's a pretty short report. Do we basically have, what kind of history do we have on probation? All I'm seeing is there's basically a rearrest on March 7th. He's been in custody since.
Your Honor, I did reach out to Mr. Trejo regarding the summary as well. By looking at the summary as well, Judge, my understanding is he only reported once, never
Correct.
reported again. But I did want to see if we could get more information as far as how he ended up in Las Cruces, where he got arrested on this KPS and then extradited to El Paso County. But that is the information that I am still lacking. Yeah, Mr. Trejo did not have that information just yet. We were also trying to run a rap sheet to see if there's any other arrests reflecting from the.
Did Carla freeze? It looks like she froze. So I'm wondering, Carla, do you see anything? Did we receive any information? For example, okay, the KPS, did we just, let me get over to Odyssey. Oh, I got out of today's Odyssey to look at other stuff. Did we have a report? Like, did we get a bench warrant a long time ago notifying the court that he was basically an absconder? Or did we just find out because he got rearrested? That's my concern.
Judge, I believe a motion to adjudicate was filed back in 2019, I want to say.
Okay, so we've had it for a minute. Okay, good. All right, thank you, Missy Bobbin. Well, we're kind of early on here, and the only thing I'm seeing on the report is, you know, screen for MHI caseload. What's the new arrest?
Judge, there was a criminal mischief from 2019 that he got booked on.
What was that? I'm sorry.
He's also booked on a criminal mischief that allegedly happened July, I think 4th, 2019, which happened after he was on probation. So that is still pending pretrial and CC2. I don't think we have a setting yet till like June on that case. So I do believe Mr. Coley would benefit from being on the mental health caseload. I believe he would qualify based on the information that I have. And I believe he was not doing well based on my conversation with him back in 2019. I believe he was hospitalized. And that's part of why I think we lost him. And I know EHN went to go see him last week to get him started on meds. Which is good. I think that's what we need. We need to get him stabilized. And then I was thinking that perhaps maybe we could do an extension and modification to the mental health caseload because I think he would really benefit from it just based on the history that he and I discussed.
What kind of plan, I guess, do we have to make sure that we're not gonna fall off track? Has your office in conjunction with EHN or probation come up with something? I don't necessarily want to let him, I don't have a problem modifying him, maybe doing something in addition to that without a more detailed plan, Missy Bobbin. I know your office has a good amount of resources to address the mental health concerns. I know it's been a quick turnaround. Have you all been able to do that yet, or?
I haven't yet, Judge, because I wanted to see what parties wanted to do with this case before I went and did all the work, if the parties weren't going to even consider that. So if that is what the court would like for me to do and probation and the state are on board as well, then we can do that for sure.
I think what I would like to do is reset the probation status hearing for 2 weeks. If we come back, reconvene again at the 3 o'clock slot again. If we have something going forward, that's how I will consider it. If we're really talking about, how long is he on for? Let's see.
5 years, Your Honor.
October 2023.
Yeah, only, you know, it might be something where if we come up with a good plan and we've got some really good, I don't want to call it compliance, but just response, you know, if something that's really helping him, then I wouldn't look at it as an extension. You know, if we have problems, I don't want to rule out an extension because to me, it's a lot of time that he didn't comply. And my kind of standard rule would be, look, you know, we look at least at a 1-year extension. And maybe that might even be beneficial if we have a good mental health plan, you know. So let's look at what our options are. We'll come back in 2 weeks though. Okay. So we'll go from there. And Carla, if you all have some additional information to the extent we can all coordinate, let's do that. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty. So, and the only thing we have new is some 2019 criminal mischief, right? We don't have any other rearrests or anything.
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Okay. You know, Missy Bobbin, family support system, all that kind of stuff, you know, we'll weigh heavily into all that. So let's see what we can bring to the table. Thank you.
I know he has family. They've been in contact, so.
Good. Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. Coley. We're going to see you back in a couple of weeks. Your attorney's going to help us out along with probation. Okay. All righty. Thank you.
Set up a call and I'll call you soon.
All right. And downtown, if you'll unmute, sorry. Chewy, who's next?
Eduardo Fernandez, is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bottom of page 8.
Okay, Chewy.
It's cause number 2020-0D04102. State of Texas versus Eduardo Antonio Fernandez. Announcement, council, please.
Robert King for the state of Texas.
Pepper Bobbin for Mr. Fernandez, and we are ready.
Okay, and this one, Mr. Fernandez is appearing from the downtown jail, scheduled for probation status. The report, I think, says an admonishment. Carla, you're covering this.
Yes, Your Honor. This,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm trying to log into this new case on Odyssey, but it's a little slow. But I do recall this case a little bit, Judge, back in, I believe it was in August 2021. I know probation interstate had brought Mr. Fernandez in front of a court. He was in New Mexico, but he kept using marijuana. Was getting, I believe there was an issue between Texas and New Mexico in probation where he wasn't getting accepted. He needed to return because we were recommending for him to have further treatment. But along the way of all this talk, he stopped reporting.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a previous admonishment, and then we had discussed BHRTC assessment. He continued to test positive. He missed the TAP assessment. He was a no-show for the hearing on or about 8/27/21. He was. We got a bench warrant, Your Honor. He was to turn himself in. He didn't turn himself in.
So it looks like we have a long history here where we're having some substance use, and then I guess, I don't know if we want to call these life difficulties. And he looks like he picks up some charges in New Mexico that ultimately, I guess, were just recently dismissed. And then that's how we ultimately get him here. But the substance use issues continue to be a problem, and the recommendation is BHRTC. Missy Bobbin, were you going to say something?
I'll let you finish.
I feel very comfortable with BHRTC. I think we've got a lot of instability with a drug problem, and before he gets too far off track, we're already far enough off track. I don't know if you want to talk with your client about that, or if you already have. We sign him up, but happy to reset it for 2 weeks if we've already got. I think then you need to sign off on something, Carla. We've already got it. I'm happy to get him quickly on that list to send him to BHRTC. If not, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Judge, I did speak to him about BHRTC and he wants the help.
Beautiful.
He's bored, so.
Beautiful. Let's get the paperwork going, whatever needs to happen. I don't know. Sometimes I guess they do it right there in the jail. Mr. Fernandez, get the help that you need, okay? It seems like you've had a bumpy, maybe it's been a year already. Something's clearly not working. So if we can help you with tools that can get your life in a better place, I'm all for that, okay? So
Thank you, Your Honor.
whatever we need to do to get this started. Do you need the 2-week? I don't want to give you a setting. No? Okay. It's just,
Your Honor, I
mándeme.
just want to make sure, will we be doing the modifications today then for BHRTC? Like this is we're doing the mods today, modifying him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I do need to contact Mr. Fernandez at the downtown jail. I'll call because I do need to speak to him and I need to know where I'm gonna submit paperwork.
Okay.
So the jail can help me with that. And then what about the MTA? Will we be dismissing the MTA due to the modification?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
And then let me see what Marissa thinks. Well, the mods a bit, yes. Oh, look, everybody's on the same page. Yes, we're dismissing the MTA. Okay. All right. If something if that doesn't happen, please let me know and we'll have a reset of 2 weeks. Okay.
You judge.
Thank you very much. Good luck to you, Mr. Fernandez.
Your Honor.
Okay, I'll just go pull the last gentleman. It'll be a few minutes.
Okay, sure. Let's take a quick picture. If
And
we
that
don't,
should be on Villalobos, okay, Judge?